Hey guys, and welcome back to G's Autos. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well guys, we have reached 100 subscribers for the channel, which is awesome. I honestly didn't think I'd get 10 people who'd be interested in watching this channel. So to get 100 people who are watching the different projects on here, thank you so much. And to anyone else who've tuned in and watched different episodes over the last 10 months or so, thank you so much. I really do appreciate all the likes, any comments, and the support shown to the channel. Well, for this episode, a very, very big thank you to Tim and Peter at EFI Logic. Thank you so much again, guys, for your support of this episode and for the channel. Without your support, this episode would not be happening. So thank you very much, guys. It's great to have you on board. And hopefully we'll be seeing a few more different things coming up on the channel, thanks to you guys. But for now, we're going to be talking about coilovers and suspension for the Starlet. So over recent months, I have had some troubles with the suspension on the Starlet. The passenger rear shocky actually collapsed, and the car just handles so bad now. The front passenger side is also starting to not be the best. So basically, the best way to put it is that the car, you'll be driving along and the car will just bounce out either side. Going around a corner, you'll feel the back end tip out as well. It's just not a very good car to drive at the moment, pardon me. And so we needed to do something about the suspension. So Tim and I had a bit of a chat, and I said, look, I wouldn't mind going to Coilovers. I've never used Coilovers before, and I really wanted to give them a really good daily drive workover, so to speak, just to see how good or bad they really are in regards to being comfortable to drive on. And obviously, we're pretty sure the handling is going to be good, but I just wanted to see how good they were for everyday driving, because I do over about 1,000 Ks a week. So I'm really going to give these coilovers a really good thrashing. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you the coilovers I've got, and then a little bit down the track, we're going to do a full a video replacing the suspension and setting up the coilovers. And then after that, I will be doing a video where I'll be doing a full review on the coilovers for daily driving. Okay, so look forward to those videos, or I hope you look forward to those videos anyway. So today, let's take a look at the coilovers I got. So these are BC Racing coilovers. So look, they look fantastic. Just nice and simple. The black and the anodized red, I think, look really, really good. So they've got all your adjustments and everything like that. Now this one we're actually looking at is the front right. So the spring travel on this one is 200, and the spring rate on this is 6 kilos. So on the back is actually 220 travel on 4 kilos. So typically what I've been finding on the coilovers for the Starlet, they all range between 6 and 4. 6 on the front, 4 on the back. There are some other brands that are getting around 6 and 5, but we have gone with a 6 and 4. Now I'll show you what we actually, I'll just try and give you guys a bit of a look there. So I think they look quite nice. They're a good looking setup. I'm not going to be adjusting these every 3 or 4 weeks for anything. Basically get these set up perfectly for the driving that I do and leave them at that. So that's the front one. Now here's the an example of the rear. So they come up quite good, look really nice. They just feel nice and sturdy, good quality construction. And look, with anything to do with cars, you can buy a cheap version or a more expensive version. To be honest with you, look, I could have bought a really cheap set of coilovers. Didn't want to do it. The last thing I want to do is have a suspension failure doing 100 Ks down the road or going around a corner. I know that sounds dramatic, but this stuff does happen, where if you buy something cheap, the welds may not be as good, the metallurgy in them may not be as good, so you could run into all sorts of trouble. So for me, personally, it was worth spending a little bit extra and getting a good quality set of coilovers. So I'm very, very happy with that. So I'll just run you through what else was in the box. Look, the BC Racing coilovers, they were really well packed. So they were very well protected from bumps and scrapes and things like that, which is what you'd expect from companies these days. So I was really happy with that. It wasn't a case where I opened it up and went, oh geez, no one's really cared, so that's really good. So in the box was a couple of stickers. There you go, a couple of those. What else did we get in there? A little numbered card. I'm not too sure what's on there. I can't understand the language that's on there. I'm not too sure what the go is, what that might be for. Another big sticker, sorry. There we go. And just a breakdown of, now this is the V1 series coilover. So it gives you a bit of information, disclaimer, before installation, after installation, that kind of stuff. And a little bit of information on the back of that as well. Also the V1 thrust ball bearing fitting instructions, that also comes with it. Okay. Now the other thing I did like that was in the package with everything is they put a pamphlet in there, which is basically a rundown on all of their different versions of their coilovers, depending on what your application may be. So I thought that's really good. Now this one here is it's the V1 setup series, and basically they call that the initial upgrade, and that's pretty much what I wanted. I didn't want to go something close to a track setup. I don't need that. This is purely and simply for those people who are looking to upgrade from stock standard basic suspension, typical progressive spring and a shock absorber, and want that next step up to a quality coilover. That's why we've gone this setup here. So I'm really excited about it and looking forward to getting these in the car, and just look, I really want to see how good these things perform and handle and all the rest of it. So I'm really excited about that. So one of the main differences, probably a lot of you may already know this, but some of the main differences between a standard car spring, which is a progressive spring, versus a linear spring, which is what these are. They don't change their shape all the way down, okay? So a progressive spring, when it's under high tension, they become less predictable in the way that they handle, while a linear spring, like what's on the coilovers, they maintain their spring rate all the way through, while a progressive will change and adapt depending on how the car's being driven and how it's handling. So they're just some of the minor differences, very basic. So yeah, just wanted to mention that to anyone who may not know. So guys, just want to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Now, like I said, we're going to be doing another video where we put these little beauties into the car. So keep an eye out for that one. And we've got a few more things coming up in regards to Nigel, my AE82. As you're aware, the engine is now in, and we've got to be getting a few more bits and pieces. So once again, I'll be catching up with Tim and Peter and discussing what we need to finalise the Corolla. So really excited about that too. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next episode.